Well, hello there guys, this is Agrippa Maxenius fighting with the Union in Ultimate General Gettysburg. In this particular, defense, we are actually going to be defending against the major Confederate assault on Seminary Ridge. If we lose this battle, it could mean losing the war, gentlemen, so I hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so we are actually fighting against basic AI at this point. Not basic, but boosted AI. I took balance just because I think balanced is in this case the best. We could have taken risky or offensive, but this should work pretty well. So first things first, starting off the battle, we definitely want to get up to that front line. Without our men defending this front line in mass, the rebels will definitely break through, especially since we've got really not the strongest brigades here. Gibraltar, Smythe, etc. Willard is pretty strong, but, you know, once again, his men are questionable at best. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to shell shot here, of course, because that does the most damage, and we're definitely going to be moving most of our artillery up as well to engage the enemy. I'm pretty sure they're going to be attacking us in the south too, although not absolutely certain, but we'll certainly see as the battle progresses. Alright, let's also move our sharpshooters up this way. I'll move Burling up, Excelsior Brigade. This is just going to be a massive assault by the Confederates, and we need to hold the town of Gettysburg. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, here we go, shell shot. They cannot be comfortable getting hit with a bunch of exploding shell shot. But Scales is getting too close for comfort. I'm going to take Willard and actually put him in between Cross and Gibraltar. It's a bit of a strange setup, but it should work. We'll have to see. And of course, the Irish Brigade, decimated at many battles before, but truly a glorious brigade, one of the best here, led by Colonel Patrick Kelly. Patrick Kelly from Ireland. Here we go. Make sure Brown is also firing his shell shot against the rebels. And Zook, I want him firing. Here we go, guys. Come on. That strong attack is coming. As you guys can see, they've got cover from the buildings as well as the trees. So I don't like that Lutheran Seminary attack point at all, especially since they're attacking with Perrin. They've got a lot of artillery. They're sending more. Things are going crazy. So we've got to, be aware here. I'll get Barnes closer. Always reminds me of Apocalypse Now. Come here, Barnes! No, it's not Apocalypse Now, is it? Platoon reference. Alright, here we go. Cross. Definitely want him firing into Thomas, and right now, he doesn't look like he really is. Again, they have decent cover here, and actually Sheldon may be close enough to hit Thomas with some canister shot. Let's see if that's doable. Also want to see in the south. I should have been checking. So far, we're not getting attacked in the south, but I wouldn't put it past the rebels. I'll send a few of our guys up north, and I'll actually send Carr up north to hold that area. As you can see, Gibbs, our artilleryman, has been wounded. He's definitely running, retreating at this point, and I'll actually move Zeusk out of cover. I always say Zeusk just to get a shot. I'll also make sure our U.S. sharpshooters are shooting at right here. Wow, more rebel artillery. I mean, so much artillery. That's one of the things that can definitely dislodge us this battle, is just going to be the constant fire we're receiving. As you can see, Ross, Patterson, etc. I think what I'm going to do is send the U.S. sharpshooters over there to try and destroy that artillery. That's a word I have trouble with if I say it too many times. Sharpshooter, sharpshooter, sharpshooter. Say sharpshooter 10 times really, really quickly. Alright, let's go ahead. Move forward. Schweitzer, yes. I like Schweitzer here. Jacob Schweitzer. And actually with Smythe, I'm going to come up this way, and yes, it is Smythe, there's no I there, and see if we can flank the enemy. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Weed, as usual, just a stoner, doesn't want to move anywhere. Damn it, Weed. There you are. I think he's finally moving. I don't really want to go, man. It takes too long. Alright, so we're going to open fire here on Patterson, guys. And of course, more rebel guns are moving into position. Wow. Just want to make sure we're not getting hit anywhere else, but I am going to try and take out this rebel artillery. I'm even questioning whether or not I should send Carr just for the sole purpose of getting into the McPherson Woods, or near the McPherson Ridge, and basically taking out the rebels there, their artillery at least. Come on, McCandless. Send right away. Send him right away. Oh, what an awful pun. Vincent, get in the woods. I also want Vincent here in cover. And Lane has got a really, really strong brigade, so we want to be as careful as we can. See if Swin can fire from the end of this railroad tracks. I would really like this position. Weed. Of course he's going to Pennsylvania College. Of course he is. Because what do you find at colleges? That's what I thought. Alright, rebel forces are moving against our center. Confederates attack us with McLaw's division. Alright, that's what I was worried about. We've got to just really, really keep our eyes on this area. As you can see, Posey, Wilcox, Got a lot of guys coming here, so we need to be ready for them. I'm going to grab 5 core. I'm also going to grab Watson and move him up closer so we can use the shell shot or the canister shot, whichever comes first. Sadly, we're losing Gibbs, but we are pushing Thomas back. Excuse me, right back. Not Thomas quite yet, anyway. And I hope Willard focuses on Scales. There we go. Smythe is able to fire at them at the end of that railroad track, guys. And if we can get Scales out of here, that's obviously going to help us. I'll also try to send one of these brigades over here to flank that enemy artillery. But I guess our plan to capture their artillery may or may not work. I'm still going to move Carr into the McPherson Woods. The McPherson Ridge is really the correct name for this area. But if we can take these guys out, we're going to really do a big favor for our guys there in the center. Come on, Lane. Get up here. Alright, we've got some reserve artillery. You know what? I'm not crazy about artillery, but artillery is artillery, right, guys? Well, that was a dumb thing to say, but it's true. Clearly, it's going to help us, so I will move it up to the front, but I'd always prefer an infantry division over an artillery battery, although they can be very useful. Right now, the enemy is getting most of their kills from their cannons up here on McPherson's Ridge. So we're going to go in here into the woods, and as you can see, it does look like one of their guys is going to try and fight us there. I'm going to send Excelsior and de Trobriand. I think it's a French name. I can't help it to say de Trobriand. I'm probably totally saying that poorly. But we're going to go ahead and try to fight these guys anyway. Whoever gets to the woods first is obviously going to have a better cover than the other unit. And I want to make sure that Smith over here is also firing shell shot. It's Anderson! Oh, man. Anderson is rough, guys. And I definitely want to get cover in these woods. I don't doubt that Wingfield and Woolfolk will probably fire canister shot at us. So we need to be careful. And, of course, the enemy's attacking us with Mahone and Sems. This could get bloody really quickly. Come on, guys. Alright, I might actually have to keep Excelsior and de Trobriand back. So I don't think they can stop these guys, much less carry out the attack against Anderson. Let's get the Irish Brigade here. We'll move up the U.S. sharpshooters as well. And I'll actually get Harrow to fire. Anyone watch Boardwalk Empire? That's what I think of every time I see Harrow. Alright. So these guys are moving up. Hart. He's got a lot of heart, the boy. Ames, obviously, want to move up. And Dow. Tilton's really not much more than just a reserve brigade, but we're going to move him up. And, of course, at this point, I'm going to fall back with Carr. I shouldn't have kept him here anyway. Forcing the enemy to actually cross this this body of water, the Feitzer's Run, is probably going to be a better idea. And will probably cause more chaos. I also like that we're hitting the enemy up here, guys, in the north. We're really getting a flanking attack here on Scales, and hopefully some of those shots are going through Scales and hitting Perrin as well. We can only hope. Alright, I don't like Posey's moving up quick, guys, and this is definitely an updated version of the game in terms of the campaign mode or the custom battle mode. So I'm very new to these particular custom battles. I've boosted the AI, and I know that the Confederate charge power has been increased because Nick Tomatis, the creator of the game, has told me himself. So I'm very concerned about Posey moving up there. But look at that shell shot. They don't even seem to care that they're hitting their own men. Who cares? Stop Posey's attack, and you know what? I concur. I also want to see what Schweitzer's doing. Seems to be alright, but I'm not liking this, guys. You see what I'm talking about? Anderson, the Texas Brigade. These are the guys that I'm concerned about. We will obviously open fire. It looks like Clark is firing his shell shot, but we really want canister shot being fired here. And it looks like Anderson and Texas will pull back, but not without decimating Carr. I really feel bad for sending that guy out into the woods. It just wasn't a very nice thing to do. Send him with these Texas boys. Bad things are going to happen. You guys seen Deliverance? I mean, it's just not a good idea. Of course, that wasn't Texas. That was actually, I believe, South Carolina. Maybe wrong. Maybe Kentucky. Set in Tennessee, or they say it was set in Tennessee, but we don't know about that. Here we go. And sort of totally unrelated, but the Cohulawassie River that they talk about in the movie, not sure if it's a fictional movie, but actually me and my father went rafting down the river that they said they were filming on. That river was actually not dredged up. Why am I talking about Deliverance during a Civil War game, excuse me? Well, you can only guess. But anyway, let's get back to the battle. And if you guys like these sort of introductions I do where I just sort of throw a story in. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I'll keep that in mind for future videos. I don't want to make the videos boring. Like I said, I always try to make them entertaining for you guys. So if that's entertaining, shit, I can accommodate. All right, Fisher, come on, man. Keep the shell shot. I don't even know why he's not firing shell shot. It's so like 1820s not to be using shell shot by now. Come on, man. You're not cool. All right, Hazlitt needs to get up there. Like I said, the enemy's breaking into the north here. Now, we do have a decent, concave of fire coming in here on Wilcox, but we can't leave these areas open like this. And we definitely can't leave these areas open. As you can see, they're pushing in. But we know the Texas Brigade has run once. They could certainly run again. All right, Fisher, you know what? I actually want you to hold, man. Stay put. You can fire from here. Might not be close enough to get great shots, but at least he's in good cover. Alright, Carr and Benson are out of the battle, both out of commission. And look at how many dead Union soldiers are here. We lost a lot of men defending this spot. Schultz Farm is definitely a nice area to be, and it looks like Burbank's pulling back slowly, but in a very controlled fashion. He's not retreating like, madly dashing across the field. Once again, Willard, the nearsighted commander. One-star general, apparently. Or no, he's a colonel, excuse me. I know, I'm just going to keep Day here. Because if Lane attacks, I want to be prepared. We'll also make sure that Hazlitt is firing canister shot. If Lane's going to be crazy enough to get this close to our cannons, we might as well take advantage of that by firing canister shot at him. Alright, Bigelow, one of my favorite artillerists in the whole war. And we've got definitely a Confederates attacking us here. Buckland, I want you firing shell shot. And I'm actually going to take Ward and try to hit Buckland over here. I can't actually tell with this elevation. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is actually to our benefit. The mountain's going up this way. So we're going to try to get the Ward over here on this side of the mountain. If not, I could actually flip Trobrand this way and just flip him and attack Law. Let's get rid of him, guys. 1,834 men. If we could take those guys off the battlefield, we're going to do our entire army a huge service. All right, let's hold it, boys. This is working out, guys. We've got some guys running, but we're managing to hold, and that's what matters. Come on, Ward. Law's just going to see a bunch of Union heads pop up. He's going to be like, what the hell is going on? But this should teach him a nice lesson. Buckland's right there on the edge of that cliff, too, or I should say hill. It's a ridge. Ridge. Here we go, guys. Opening fire on Law. And, of course, we know that is a major Confederate commander with a lot of men. If we can take them out, that's going to be incredible. We're going to relieve the pressure on our left side completely. We might even be able to collapse these guys inwards and hit Texas Brigade from their right flank. Get a flanking attack, sort of maneuver these guys around them. Right now, I'm just sort of trying to hold as much as I can. In fact, I'm going to go for Rice. Try to get rid of some of this artillery behind us. Keep firing on Law, boys. You're doing just fine. See if we can get some shell shot out of Sealy. And actually, I'm going to have him fire on the Texas Brigade. I think he already has that in mind. Ooh. Any of those wounded men down might not survive after that. I can only estimate how many wounded men. And actually, if anybody wants to answer that question, I'm quite interested. What's the ratio to dead and wounded in a usual Civil War battle? It's something that I've always been interested in. Okay, let's fire. So as you can see, we are closing in on the enemy. I think at this point we can move Day up. But then again, these guys are just remaining so still, and now they're moving. As you can see, I know that they're going to eventually attack. That's the only reason I haven't done much with Day, as well as Kershaw. I mean, this is a really strong brigade. It's basically like 2 brigades in one. So if they start moving those guys up, I'm going to be a little more concerned. Come on, Law. Almost want to move Graham up there to get into the center, but I'm not going to make any movements until I see a definite plan of attack here by the Confederates. But we will move Day up and open fire on Wilcox. Come on, Willard. We're a nearsighted young man. could try a charge with weed, but again, if we do that, we're risking our entire position, and that's not a really smart idea. In fact, even being across or on this side of the river is a bit risky, but I like that we took Schultz Farm. This is not a place that I want the enemy in control of. I definitely don't want them in control of Pennsylvania College, because that's a perfect firing location. Let's take a look over here and make sure I don't have anyone else pushing in. You know what, Buckland? If you can, give him the canister shot. No, I don't think he can without moving forward, and I don't want to risk more artillery. The rebels are flanking our right! Oh no, that's not good, guys. So they're going to try to hit us actually behind. This is a perfect time to move Schweitzer up here. And actually, we may need to move him to face lane anyway. We'll also move Vincent. Remember, this guy retreated last time. We'll move him up here to this gap. And this is where things get really testy. Firing on lane. As for Graham, yep, we can also use him. The sharpshooters aren't doing any good here, but then again, let's fire on Anderson. Yes, double day. It's about time. We can get here double quick, or we're gonna get our asses kicked. At this point, it looks like Arnold's finished. No, we can't lose you, Arnold. Come on, man. Make sure to fire some canister shot in the lane here. And Day is definitely pushing himself. I'm going to move Schweitzer into Day's old location. In fact, we'll put him behind the little creek here. That way, if we get overrun, we don't have to run into the water and get shot in our backs. That looks like what's about to happen today if he's not careful. And I'm really questioning whether or not I should charge. It would cause a ton of commotion in the Confederate lines, but I'm just not sure we would win. As you can see, even Weed is pretty much tired and finished fighting. And let's move Burbank. Come on, Burbank. Try and mess up this artillery, because as you can see, he's really creating an artillery screen here, because he's going to be moving those infantry in from the north, and that could mess up our entire plan. So let's move Standard up here to the north. Let's actually move Rigby up here, too. Eleanor Rigby. Gotta stop listening to Beatles. Alright, here we go. Perry, you're in trouble, you bastard. As soon as Schweitzer gets in, that is just a name that is not intimidating at all. Just imagine, like, you know, it's the 1920s. Obviously, we're in the 1860s here, but it's the 1920s, and you're you know, a nice deli salesman, and all of a sudden, some mafia goons come in and they say, "Now listen here, Sonny. If you don't follow our instructions, our boy Schweitzer's gonna come in here and kick your ass." I wouldn't be very intimidated, to be honest. I'd be like, "Oh, Schweitzer, yeah, okay." Is that the German fellow? Fire here, Wilcox. I wonder if the Confederates had any German generals. I do know the Confederates did have an Austrian prison guard, at least according to a film, Andersonville. Great movie, by the way. A Civil War movie, as a matter of fact, about a Confederate prison. Let's take a look here. All right, Graham's still moving up. Now, I'm tempted to run with him, but you know what? We're probably just going to pick a better sort of path, because that path was actually going to go around, excuse me, Bliss Farm, and we don't need that. Then again, you know what? I think I'm going to send Graham here. There's not enough defenses here, especially if Mahone attacks. So I'd rather take my chances and defend this area. We will switch to shell shot, actually. Right now we're firing, which is kind of embarrassing, we're firing solid shot at Mahone. And solid shot is great for artillery, but against infantry, it's not really going to do anything. Zook, you brave bastard! He's actually making lane run, guys, but of course he's going to have to pull back himself. Let's see what's going on here, excuse me. So much is going on at once. Alright, let's move Standard. And as for Cross, I'll just plant him right on the victory location. As you can see, Harrow is on his way out for sure. The center is growing weaker and weaker. Alright, Ames. There we go. Can fire from here. And Mahone can't even see us, so as long as that house doesn't get in our way at Fighter's Farm, we could probably do a lot of damage. There we go. Yes, that's what I like to see. Some nice shell shot. If we got a little closer, we could also hit that immense amount of artillery he has. And really the rebels have just, as you can see up here, this is really mostly due to rebel bombardment more than anything else. Just the amount of shell shot they've thrown down at us. They've got so many beautiful positions here for artillery, and now they're attacking us with their full force, the full force of their brigades. Let's send Thompson up. We need you, Thompson. I wish we had some Thompson machine guns. We could finish this battle really quickly. Please let us mod, Nick, please. Oh, that would be great. Alright, let's grab Weed. And we'll move him up. McCandless, I'm just going to leave him here, like I said. I'd rather they move forward and get hit crossing this field than moving out of cover. That's just not a good idea. Actually, being in Gettysburg should provide pretty good cover for us. They're still going to be crossing in front of Pennsylvania College, though. And that's not bad either. They keep tempting me to send more troops to the north, but I'm afraid it's just a ruse. Nonetheless, I'll go ahead and indulge them and send Burling up there. And actually, we're going to pull back with Tilton. This entire area near Feitzer's farm is just a killing zone, really, for the enemy artillery. Look at that poor Feitzer is going to have to pay for that window, you bastards. Alright, here we go. Thompson's up here. Once again, we'll pick the shell shot. Eventually, as they get closer, we'll switch to canister, but for now, I'm fine with shell. And actually, I'm amazed. Scales has gotten shot up so much this battle, yet he continues to be a burden, and that's really annoying. And thankfully, guys, the battle is about to end as long as the enemy doesn't push on any of these points. Of course, if they continue the assault, the battle will not end. And we need it to end right now because this area here is not looking great. Weed is pulling back. Lane is moving forward. Kershaw's moving forward. And once again, I am going to hold with McCandless here. We're going to make sure that if we're firing on Kershaw, we're going to be firing from the woods. We're going to have cover. He's going to have none. Zook, stop, you bastard. Fire at Kershaw. And we're going to move hard up as well. Go ahead and get the general over here just to give our guys some morale. Little increase in morale. Yo, general is with you, boys. Major General Sykes. Why do I sound like a Canadian from South Park? Okay, here we go. Day, Vincent. Man, this is tough, but as long as we can hold, victory is ours. They have a lot more men now than they did initially. And they certainly should have attacked with Kershaw before, but maybe, oh, maybe not. They're planning a major advance here. No wonder they were sort of trying to loosen this area up. Of course, we'll send Burling over here. But if they can't push us off these points, I think the battle may be ours. Alright, sending all their reinforcements there to the center. Come on, you rebels. Rebel scoundrels. There we go, guys. That was actually a minor victory. Looks like we lost many more men than the rebels did, probably due to the overwhelming rebel artillery fire. In fact, we'll take a look at the statistics and see, and it looks like Perrin's brigade, 3rd Corps, 3rd Division, got a ton of kills there. Actually, that was an infantry brigade, 1,611 soldiers. 483, this has got to be... Wow, incredible. Kills, 723. Now, this is why, guys. Wilcox, we have to say, did an amazing job. The rebels actually had the best brigades. That's what happens when you get boosted AI. And as you can see here, Brigadier General Cadmus Wilcox, they lost 723 men. That's why they were left with 483. But they managed to get 723 kills. So, pretty amazing job there by those guys, and really cool overall. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Obviously, Willard was our best brigade. We could have done somewhat better, and I think we could have snagged a major victory, and certainly if the battle had continued, things could have gotten really crazy. But I'm glad it didn't. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.